And hello everyone, Carlos here. At the moment I'm by myself, which is okay. I've sent invites out. If anyone in the chat wants to come on, PM me, DM me on Twitter or post or just say invite me. If I follow you, I'll invite you. Today's topic is about what happened this week. Well, a lot of shit's happened this week. We had 2 elections over the weekend. Just today we had some YouTube drama, which everyone's aware of. Wait a sec, I'll just answer Raven. Sent you the I sent you the invite, Raven, if you want to come in. It's on Skype. Invite Marty if he wants to be as well. The topic is just shit that happened this week. Fuck it. I don't have anything to talk about except that. Yeah, well, we'll start off with Bering's case because I tweeted this morning when I first heard that his YouTube account was just suspended, and I have an extremely low tolerance for any form of censorship. Even though this case was not censorship, he did violate real copyright claims, and I apologize if for my tweets I was hot-headed and I was wrong. So, but coming back to the real censorship thing, I was born in a country, and up until 1974 we lived under a dictatorship. It was quite brutal, in fact. Our dictator started off in 1932. No, 23, in fact. 32. His name was Antonio de Oliveira Salazar. He modeled himself. Well, actually, he became a dictator before even Mussolini did. He was a corporativist. You can say it. I'd say he was, and he was very, very brutal. He used all forms of censorship, not just freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, but also freedom of information. And that's where I sort of put Bering's case in, that the freedom of information blockage or blockade, or whatever you want to call it. It's really, I have very little tolerance of that. Many people in the Western countries, the Americas, Britain, Australia, New Zealand, haven't lived under any form of real oppression, which I hope they never get to experience it, because it is brutal. And when I see voices being silenced, to me, it really hurts me. I knew people who told me, the older generation, my dad's generation, who told me that friends of them disappeared, and that for expressing an opinion. In the chat, can you guys hear me well? Just so I can... bugger this. Just anyone want to come on? Fuck it, come on. Yeah, I sort of it's that and pedophilia are my 2 hotspots. I become, many times I become irrational when that happens, and I don't take it very kindly. That's just so I apologize for my hot-headed tweets. I know I was wrong, and Bering seems to have got his channel back up.
Hello.
Hello. Lucky and Eleftherios. Eleftherios.
Yes. Yeah, everything fine. I don't know. I just heard you starting talking about dictatorships again, and we have.
Yeah, I was because of Bearing, but we're going to talk about this. Basically, what happened this week. A lot of shit has happened.
Yeah, sounds
so, yeah. Yeah, so I got this out of the way. Bearing seems to have gotten his channel back. He did well to make all his videos private. Now, if you can, it's easy for him. Fuck, it's easy for him. He just has to swap his avatar, the old avatar, for the new avatar. It'll take him. His videos were quite short. They weren't more than 5-10 minutes long. He can do he can do 10 videos a day. Yeah, you can do 10 videos a day, and in about by mid-January, he's got them all back up. Even though he can make another video during that time, it's easy. And if you save them, it's even easier. I always save all my videos that I put up. I always archive them in my hard drive and put an external hard drive, which is a good measure to everyone to do.
Well, okay. I'm surprised if anyone doesn't do that.
Many people don't. Honestly, I can tell you many people don't do that shit. Yeah, so
well, you can just have like another account and upload like a mirrored version or something.
I'm going to be completely honest, and I'm just going to say that I don't feel that bad for Bearing. He's been doing this for how many years now? And he knows he's been using a copyrighted character?
Yeah, he's been doing it for 1 year.
Has it only been 1 year?
Yeah.
Feels like a lot longer.
But he didn't expect to go that big. Shit. I'm going to modify my avatar. And I'm fucking minuscule.
Yeah.
I know I'll never fucking get past 1,000 or 1,500 if I'm fucking lucky. But shit, I like my little channel. I don't want it to. So I'm installing shit on, because I added a clean install, a new SSD drive. So I'm doing everything. It's faster now, and even all. So I'm gonna clean install everything. I'm going to do a new avatar. I'm just gonna posterize this or some other shit. When I install Photoshop or something, I'll modify this one to make it completely copyright claimable, and my banner as well. So yeah,
looking forward.
Yeah, it'll be basically that, but just more-ish cartoon. I hope they'll find filters or something like that. Yeah.
I like the position
Enough of me.
Of the hand, you know.
Yeah.
Like skeptical.
Enough of me. What happened this week? I know 2 elections occurred. One went bad, one went really good. In terms of finishing the EU. What else? There's been riots in Greece. Yeah, unfortunately, there's been riots in Greece again.
Has that ever stopped?
Oh God, yeah.
Not really.
Unfortunately, it's a beautiful country. Oh God, my heart breaks every time I hear news of that. What else? Oh yeah, that high German European official whose daughter was raped and killed by an Afghan migrant. No, not even, migrant, because this is a refugee. And firstly, the German news have been covering it up. And secondly, when they do talk about it, they mention that the family of the victim, are donating money to migrant and refugee charities. Talk about Stockholm Syndrome.
Whoa, that's... Well, I guess it's not everyone's fault that happened, but it's still kind of weird.
How is this still happening? How has there been hundreds of cases of... I don't know where you guys are leaning on the entire situation, but I'm just want to say that hundreds of situations of shitty people doing shitty things. I'm not even going to point out that's what race they are or what religion they follow. I'm just going to say hundreds of really shitty people doing incredibly bad sexual deeds to children, to people to bring them into their home, and to random strangers on the street. And then the news is covering it up. covering it up here, covering it up over there, covering it up everywhere. And in the meantime, we have the entire internet blowing up with people claiming that we need to start censoring fake news. Now, how does that work?
It works. It's basically the control of the media, and like I said, the censorship of freedom of information. We are experiencing that. The West is experiencing that. Even my little shitty country, to a certain extent. The Austrian elections, it was between a right-wing politician who was anti-immigrant and a Greens Party independent. The right-wing politician was dubbed even here extreme right, but in the in terms of the political statement, he would be more or less in between our Popular Party and our Social Democrats. I think that's what I saw his. The manifesto of the party that he belongs to. That is not extreme right by any measures, but you know how they are. The media are doing a censorship in the form of not people are not receiving information. So it's the freedom of information is being censored.
I totally agree.
Yeah,
the same has been going on in Greece too.
I posted some tweets to Furious Fossa because I agreed with him then. I agree with what he was telling me, but I was too hot at that moment, and I wasn't. But then when I went back and read, then I sort of posted to show that it's just not freedom of speech. I was giving examples, not just freedom of saying something. It's actually freedom of information, and he was right. Furious Fossa was totally right. I was in the wrong, but I gave then examples of what I was basically trying to argue, which was wrong. Only to the point that I was saying it was censorship of freedom of information. But yes, Bering doesn't have a. If he gets sued, he doesn't have a chance. He's fucked, basically. Yeah,
no security.
He doesn't. Yeah. I sympathize with him for losing his livelihood. He got his channel back. He's learned. I'm sure he will get it right.
Hold on. For the amount of money he makes per video, and every video being like 10 minutes long, can't he just afford to buy a new avatar? Like, even if hire somebody to draw a new bear, just a slightly different bear, add a like, I don't know, add some glasses and add a tattoo on him somewhere, and there you go, Bering updated, and he's no longer that same character.
It's been done. It's been done. There was this. God. I wish someone would do me an avatar, and I want to do my art, and I wish someone would do that to me of a Neanderthal, cartoon Neanderthal, more or less. I have an ideas, but I would need to discuss it. But yeah, but Bering has done already. He's already. I'll put up a. Hope it's still there. A screen of his new channel, of what his channel looks like. Oh shit! It's got the old bear. What the fuck? It's all right. He changed it. What the hell?
Who changed it?
He changed it before. I saw it, and it's back again. I maybe have to
refresh maybe a couple times.
Refresh maybe. No, it's still there. Fuck it. Never mind.
Do you just want to give a shout out to the audience that if anyone has any fan art to give you suggestions of what to change your avatar to, or would do some channel art for you, they're welcome to.
Oh God, I don't want to do that. I hate that. I can't. I'm Jesus.
I guess
I
I'll
want to
do
do
it for
myself.
you.
Yeah. And I hate asking. I really, really do. I know people would do it for me, but Jesus, I really hate asking. Not that just me. I feel I can't explain it. It's probably my. I can't even explain why I don't like asking people to do things for me. I love doing things for people, but when it comes to me, I just I don't need it. I don't really need it. You know what I mean? I hope you do, because.
No, I know.
But that's enough about
it
me.
Sucks having to ask, and if I didn't design my logo myself, years ago, I would also ask my audience to give me suggestions, because some people do want to feel involved. Some people like feeling involved. So maybe someone will come up with some really good ideas for you.
No, I have the ideas. It's this is my my avatar. If you see my videos which I've recorded, I have 2 or 3. I have little figures in a background of a cave, but I've modified the cave, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're slightly going out of what topic. We'll come back to that later. Let's get back on track. We digressed.
So the elections.
Yes. Let's get back to on topic. This week I confirmed officially that no migrants, Syrian refugees, no one wants to come to Portugal. Fucking bad we are. Yesterday, our minister or secretary of the ministry or something, an official, had a press conference and said, "Oh, we seem to have misplaced 140 refugees."
I think Sweden was saying that they found them.
No, she didn't mention Sweden. She mentioned Germany. This was what, basically, to paraphrase what she was saying. Oh, as soon as they come to Portugal, right, they sort of get we have good net coverage and mobile phones and that, and they must have telephoned their cousins in Germany, and they said, "Oh, look, it's better here, come over," and they sort of, they sort of gone. I didn't cry laughing because I'm used to it. I just said, "Shit." She confirmed my what I've been saying this shit all the time. So
I was talking to somebody from Sweden, and they also said that they have about 200,000 refugees missing.
yeah, but are they children?
No.
Children.
No, he didn't specify which kind of migrants are missing, but some of the horror stories I've heard, I probably shouldn't repeat them on here just yet. But yeah, 200,000 just missing. It's like they walked out of Sweden somewhere else. Germany's reporting a few missing as well, and no one really knows where they're going.
Where are they? They are leaving what? The best countries in the world for them to go to the. I don't know where.
Sweden has recently, I think it was Sweden, just recently decreased the amount of money that they're dishing out for the refugees. And they said there was a decrease in applications to migrate there by 70% or so. It was like 73%. They cut the funding by like 45% and just huge decreases in migration. Also, they started, I think it was Germany that just started sending their first refugees back to Afghanistan, because they deemed it safe enough. So off you go, back home. I think a lot of people are really unhappy about the fact that people are being sent home. But yeah, that's apparently starting to happen already.
Okay.
Like Denmark. Denmark is actually asking the migrants, refugees, to pay for if they have any valuables on. Come here, they're ours. You then. If you work enough and you pay for them, like if they're an heirloom or something, yeah, sure, they bring an heirloom from Syria to yeah, sure.
Oops.
But you see what I mean? And they've had a drop, but it's still.
Well, it depends on how many kids you have and how many of them can carry gold. We've done a few live streams on the subject. Have you guys heard about some of the migrants just complaining? There was one story that we were doing that was just insane, where the guy was
talking. Not the Nutella.
Sorry?
It's not the Nutella incident.
No, it's the guy that maybe it was, but it was the guy that was completely complaining that he had 4 wives and 24 children and he couldn't work. He was demanding that the government keep paying him to stay at home because he's got too many responsibilities at home. 24 children, 4 wives.
Oh God.
All right.
Each and every one of the wives has their own. The government gave them their own home, so he's got to migrate between the 4 homes all the time. So he says he can't work at all because he's got to see his children and his wives. And since it's illegal for him to marry all 4 women in, I think it was Germany, then he just has to spend a few nights with each one. a week, and therefore he can't work at all. So they have to give him more money. I think he was already getting $170,000 a year.
Shit. That's 10 times more than I get a year.
I know. That makes me want to convert to Islam and pretend to be a refugee in Germany. Just team up with a few women and be like, can we just say we're married? Like, there's no paperwork tracking this.
I'll take my wife, my daughter, or not my daughter, I'll take my wife, my wife, and say, look, well, I'll say, put her in a hijab, so put her in 4 homes. No, this is my wife. Take her. This is my wife, and this is my other wife, and this is my other. It's the same person. They won't know.
They'll never know.
But oh God, I've followed the horror stories of Sweden. I know them. I wish I didn't, but I unfortunately know them, and not just in Sweden. The Nutella incident was in Italy.
Oh.
In Bologna. The migrants, because they weren't getting enough Nutella, they burnt down their hostel where they were living in. I wouldn't rebuild it. I'd say, oh, you burnt it down. Really? Okay, fine.
That's
no, you're going to stay there. You're going to stay there. No one asked you to burn it down. No, you're going to fucking stay there.
Did they rebuild it, or did they let them stay there?
They will rebuild it, but
it's such a shame.
That's why I have high hopes for the Italian situation after this referendum.
Me too.
Because this is the 4th prime minister appointed by the president without going to the vote. They have not had an election in Italy for about, I think, 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been 4 prime ministers. There has to be a time when they will say, nope, we want to have new elections. And I hope, well, fuck no, I don't hope. I don't really, but it's because of the fucking left, regressive left they are, making the far right grow. I hate that. I want centre. I want a centrist government to protect. Yeah, to protect the government cities. Yeah.
I've been complaining about this for a really long time. For those of you who know, I'm Canadian, and I grew up in an incredibly liberal system. And me and Sigan keep joking about the fact that about 5-6 years ago, when we were in university, they kept teaching us that globalism was evil because it takes advantage of people overseas and completely ruins people's lives and just takes over other countries. 5 years later, 6 years later, they're now telling us that globalism is the answer to everything. And this is why me and Sigan say, I don't feel like the positions have actually shifted. I feel like I don't feel like our stances have shifted all that much. I think the position of what it means to be left and what it means to be right have completely switched around. I used to be a pretty hardcore leftist until, let's just say I had a slight awakening when I decided to watch and talk to some people that weren't, who explained how money works. Once you figure out how money works and how economic functions, then you just throw everything else out the window. I also got pushed pretty far, a little bit more away from the left once I tried to open my own business and got taxed up the ass and could barely afford to hire people to work for me, and my business kind of just fell apart because of it. But we don't talk about the middle class getting taxed up the ass to support everyone else.
No, they don't. That's completely taboo, but it's getting to a point where the middle class are shrinking. The people who can actually afford to work and pay taxes are shrinking, and they don't know where the fuck they're getting their money. Like, for instance, Sweden is reaching a point where they are slowly, they're accelerating their collapse. And France has been estimated, which is, France is really a weird country. I love France, but it doesn't allow, like in Sweden, no-go zones. The fucking police will go in there. If they can't go in normally, they'll bring in the tanks. And they will go into a neighborhood and fucking weed out all those cunts, if need be, or the goy, the gendarmerie, which are fucking well trained. They will go in there, and anyone that opposes them, they will go in there. They won't. There's no-go zones in France, but there is in Germany and Sweden, and I think also.
I pretty much live in the middle of a ghetto.
And yeah, exactly. In Greece as well.
Yeah, I don't want to say where I live, but
no, don't say where you live.
Just say that in the area in Athens where I live, like for every Greek, there are like 3 immigrants or something. Some of them are pretty old, like 30 years in Greece, 10 years in Greece. And they know the language, and they have like little shops, like kebab stands and stuff like that. But
From where? From Albania?
No, we do have lots of Albanians, but you can't really distinguish them at this point. I'm talking about Middle Eastern migrants that came the first wave like 10 years ago, 15. And they have sort of been like, little stands, and they have somewhat integrated. But the newcomers, they are really turning the area where I live into a ghetto.
They are, yes, they are, exactly. The newcomers are the problem.
Yes.
And there's an interesting situation which really affects Greece more than any other country. Turkey has threatened the European Union to unleash 3,000 migrants a day because the European Union won't pay them enough ransom. If Varoufakis,
yes, they are good and secure,
was there in power, I doubt that would happen. But the one that's in there, that's now, I can't remember his name.
I can't either. They switched them up very recently.
The Prime Minister of Greece at the moment, Tsipras, yeah. He should say straight up, because the Greek army is still good, still strong, it's still NATO.
It is,
right? Still NATO. He should say, go up on the press conference and say, what Turkey is doing is basically declaring war on Greece. If a single ship leaves a port with migrants heading towards Greece, we will declare it an act of war.
Yes, I mean,
we
if it has like an actual Turkish flag on it, it is.
Is that or not? Doesn't matter. If a ship carrying more than 3 people or 100 people or less, because he's saying 3,000, much less. If a ship or a boat or whatever leaves Turkey, any Turkish port, because Greece has a very close border with in the Aegean with the islands with Turkey.
At some point,
so if you said, exactly, if a ship from Turkey leaves direction in the direction towards Greece with migrants, we will sink it. We will destroy all the other boats in that port, and we will consider it an act of war. And NATO will have to defend us. See the shit happening in Turkey. That fucking cunt Erdogan will fucking crap his pants.
I don't know if he will. I mean,
Greece has to be defended by NATO, even if it's just another NATO country.
I agree. I absolutely
exactly.
Agree. We are in the right on that one, and I don't know how it's on that, but Turkey, for the past, for as long as I can remember, has been sending routinely aircrafts and ships to pass the Greek border, and basically to fuck up with our claim on some of the islands in the Aegean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
they have been doing that routinely, going through the border.
Down their fucking Yep. Go on, EleftheriosVenizelos. Sorry about that.
No. Our planes go up, and then they, sort of follow them until they leave the border because they can't do anything. They can't start shooting people down, and then they do it again, and they bring some ships, and our ships start following them. It's ridiculous. At some point, they're going to have like a parade in front of the House of Parliament, and we're going to be following them around, saying, "Okay, it's controllable. They're not doing anything." It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. NATO should expel Turkey out of it. They don't need them anymore. Turkey used to be a strategic point because of the Soviet Union, but the Soviet Union's collapsed. There is no real problems with Russia. Russia doesn't want Europe. It only wants its Russian-speaking people. Fuck them, I'd say, let them have it. Even the fucking, I can't. No, not the Balkans. No, the Baltic states. No, because they're not Russian. But the Crimea was Russian, always been Russian.
Yep.
Greek.
Parts of the
It's Greek.
parts of the yeah, it used to be even Greek. Yeah, exactly. It used to be Greek. Fuck that. Yeah. Yeah. So the parts of the Ukraine are Russian ethnic Russians. Let them have that area. Fuck the
Yes.
stupid people that
Why do they want to take the lead?
yeah.
I mean, if like an area
Yeah.
of, let's say, Greece or Portugal wanted to leave the country, and they actually, there was an ethnic majority and that wanted to separate, I don't see why they shouldn't.
We did that to
are
Spain. Yeah, we
pro-ethnic
did that to Spain twice.
Yeah.
So we did that to Spain in the 13th century, and we did that to Spain in 1496 again. No, 1496.
It was your right. If,
1468. Sorry, 1468.
Crete comes up and says like 60% of the population wants to separate from mainland Greece. That's all right. We can't just keep them there by force. The same goes.
It's like we have islands in the Azores and the Madeira Islands. They are semi-autonomous. They have their own parliament. They vote for their own parliament. They have their own president and all that shit. And in the Madeira, they had this fucking clown. We called him the shit. What was that? The president of Venezuela before, the one that died.
Castro?
No, the president of Venezuela, not Cuba.
Oh, shit, sorry. Some cartel warlord? Drug lord?
Oh God, I can't remember his name. But he was exactly like him. He'd do speeches for hours, and he was a clown. He'd go in the carnival dressed up. Oh, he was fucked up. He fucked up the Madeira Islands. We are paying for all the deficit he has now. But the people, Portuguese, they don't want to leave Portugal. Of course, they're islands, but they're still Portuguese. They have less petrol. The price of petrol is less. The price of electricity is less. The price of nearly everything is less for them because they're isolated and that. So,
oh yeah,
that's how we are.
Maduro.
Madeira, yeah.
Yeah, someone said in the chat.
Yeah, it's good wine that comes from there. It's really good. It's as good as Porto wine, but it's different. No, not Maduro Modwain. The one before him.
Yeah, I can't recall.
Anyway, someone in the chat will
yeah, okay.
But we passed that. He was a clown like that guy, the one that died, and he's on trial for the shit he done. So, yeah. But Turkey is a big problem in Europe. We have to kick them out of NATO. We just have to kick them out of NATO, and then you will see them becoming little kittens, because Russia really likes them.
Yes.
And Armenia really likes them, and Russia and Armenia
and I like
sort
them.
are sort of friends, you know. Armenia is a Christian country who has, even though they were under Soviet rule, they are not bad against. They sort of. I think they don't mind Russia much. They do trade a lot with them.
Are you talking about Armenia?
Yeah, Armenia, yeah.
Armenia I have a few Armenian friends. They say that Armenia is kind of pretty heavily divided along the center, where one side is still consider themselves very Armenian, Christians, and speak fluent Russian. You're just horribly engulfed in Russian culture, and the other side doesn't consider them to be true-blooded Armenians because they're Christians and not that other thing that's prominent in the in that area.
No, Armenians are Christians. The other ones are shit. I've drank already a little bit, so I can't remember geography, but I usually know the fucking geography. They were having problems with
Georgians?
the
Azerbaijan.
No. Georgians are also Christians.
Now they are.
Yes, there's Azerbaijani.
There's also Chechnya.
It's a stan, some stan something.
Well, there's a lot of stands in that region. Uzbekistan, Turkestan.
Kebabistan?
Uzbekistan. I think it's Uzbekistan.
Wait, is Uzbekistan further east? No.
As my friend
I'll
tells
look
me,
up. I'll look it up in the map. It's easy. It's Azerbaijan.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's not a stan. It's Azerbaijan. In fact, Armenia has an enclave in Azerbaijan. Cut it in half or something. Nagorno-Karabakh, and it's in Azerbaijan. And fucking Google Maps does not show it. The cunts.
I'm sure they changed names by now.
But it's an enclave, and it should be there, and it's not. That's fucking weird. Anyway, well, Google Maps, they fucking Google that Sergey Brin and that other cunt of fucking dickheads. But yeah, Russia did have a conflict with Georgia, but if
I had to pay close attention to that.
If Turkey does any shit, Georgia and Armenia will say, "Come here, please pass, get them." I don't have much problem with that, but that's easy how to fuck up Turkey, because Turkey has a physical border with Greece and Bulgaria, right? Bulgaria's built a wall. Greece should build the wall near
Evros.
That way,
Yep.
and then post patrol boats all the islands from what's that island called? From
which one?
Where Lindos is the capital. No.
Limnos?
Lindos, Charaki, Archangelos, Kolypia.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Fucking Google Maps doesn't show that.
Yeah,
it's the second biggest island near Marmaris.
Marmaris?
Yeah, that's in Turkey. Oh God, the Google Maps are hopeless. I know all the Greek islands. I know there's Kos. I know there's Lesbos. Yes. I know there's Samos. I know the Greek islands. Well, just put a patrol in Samos, Kos, and maybe Lesbos. That's Lesbos.
What did you say about Lesbos?
That's the bigger island is Lesbos, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. I knew my geography was failing me. Hello, Modwain.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you for the Chavez thing. I couldn't remember his name. Hugo Chavez. I never remember his name.
Yeah, he was quite of an extravagant leftist.
And the president of the Madeira Island, the last one that he had to leave, he was exactly the same. Oh God, no one liked him.
Yeah, I can understand that, because Hugo Chavez kind of destroyed Venezuela in a bit. Maduro was trying to clean it up. He failed so far, but he's done better than people expected.
Yeah, he's stuck in the heart. He saw him in his funeral, in Castro's funeral, which
Tsipras attended. Why?
Why what?
Why would he attend Castro's funeral? I mean, he was like the only European leader. No, Tsipras.
Who? Tsipras. He did.
Oh my God.
Oh Jesus. Oh God. Well.
Yes. Exactly. I mean, he gave a speech.
Though.
Fucking Justin Trudeau talked about how he cried after he heard that Castro died, and everyone on social media is going batshit fucking crazy, saying Castro was a revolutionary hero. What the fuck is happening with society?
It is.
This is quite simple.
He slaughtered the gays and the blacks. Come on, people.
I'm going to answer this. This is quite simple. This is really simple. How many people do you know in universities and high schools that walked around with a T-shirt of Che Guevara?
Honestly, none.
None?
No.
You saw them a lot. And you also saw a lot of people with shirts like the Che Guevara, but with someone else, but in the same pose.
Yes.
This is the main reason. We've been
Obama.
Oh,
Sorry,
brainwashed.
Obama.
No. This is well before Obama. This is
No. I mean, the shirts with
2021.
the same image, with the same pose. They have
Yeah.
Obama like that too. I've seen more of those.
Yeah, but we've been brainwashed to think that leftist guerrilla leaders, we forget, or we get told to forget what they did to reach their position. I mean, if you talk to a left person now and you tell them, well, communism is left, they will tell you you're wrong. If you tell them Cuba is left, probably now they will tell you they're right. But if you then also tell them people in Cuba are, I mean, so poor that African countries send food to Cuba, then they will tell you you're wrong again. Because it's left. It has become, how do you call it? It's as if it's on a pedestal. Everything that's left is good. And the more extreme you are, and the more time goes by, the better you get. And this is what happened to...
I did a... sorry, Modwain. Finish. I'll do it after. Finish.
No,
Please finish.
I was finished. I mean, this is what happened to Castro.
Yeah.
He's being...
I did a stream last week about why Castro was elevated to the position he was, while every other dictator we know of in the world has been basically shitted on. I can't think of any other dictator that's had so much praise as Castro has, and he was as bloodthirsty as the Portuguese dictator Salazar, Franco, the Chilean dictator. What's his name?
Pinochet? No, wait a second.
Pinochet, yeah. The Argentinian dictatorships, Sandinista dictators, they were all, just to name a few, in that part of the world. I'm not even going into Africa because they've Santos, the Santos in Angola. He's exactly like Castro. He was bloodthirsty at the start. He found fucking oil, so he's giving them free healthcare. Fucking big shit. Yeah.
Well, in Cuba they are getting free healthcare too.
Yeah, exactly. But you see in the hospitals.
But
apparently?
the free healthcare they're getting.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why I don't understand why even our president, our current president, was actually a good friend of Fidel Castro. When he was in his party, and even in the Socialist Party, we negotiated with Castro to send up Cuban doctors here because Portugal exports doctors. We trained them super well. I mean, top class. We're probably one of the best countries to be trained as a doctor. And as soon as they graduate, either they go to England, Canada, Germany, everywhere but Portugal. So what's left here? No one. And we are actually now using retired doctors in their 70s for general practitioners. So yeah, what a wonderful country I live in, man. I love it.
But
We don't have free healthcare, but we have good hospitality.
It's a common characteristic among all the big countries. They all hate their countries and love them at the same time.
Well, when was the last time you guys were in Cuba?
I've never been there.
Never been. My Sigan on my channel went twice last year or this year. She's laughed when people say that Castro is revolutionary. They don't have any cars there that have been made before the 50s. Everything's like stuck in time. They don't have roads. People outside of the resorts shit in buckets. And every time her and her friend go, they pack an entire suitcase full of clothing to bring to them for free, just to give away clothing from North America. It is ridiculous. They do have really good, I guess, good medical programs, which a lot of people finish, but end up working at the resorts. because that's the only place the money is. Their medical, I guess they have the healthcare. They just can't afford to treat people because it doesn't matter, and they can't afford any kind of infrastructure at all. So what you get is a highly intelligent country with nothing to fucking do. They sit at the resorts and they harass people about I don't know, nothing. They're not allowed to harass people. That's the other thing. When you see the locals coming up to tourist groups, the military police does show up and tell you to get the hell away from the tourists. That's the kind of free communist state these people have.
And then people don't. Jesus, they don't see that. They're so fucking blind. These fucking little rats that infect universities at the moment. I mean, professors and students. They don't see that. They are so ideologically blind. I wrote a tweet the other day, which basically this creationist idiot, or this no, it was an Islamist, in fact, an even more idiot. I said to him, or in response, a blind, deaf, dumb person does not want to see, basically, to be enlightened. That was my tweet, and that's how I feel about what's happening in the universities. They are dumb, mute, deaf, and blind. They're just stuck there. That's it. Nothing else.
Well, that's not necessarily their fault. Considering I do live in an incredibly stupid liberal society, we do get socialized every step of the way to believe this shit. And they encourage you to believe things like the terrorists are what do you call it? The good guys, right? The good guys. Just think back to Star Wars. It was a group of rebels, terrorists, that took on the government, the oppressive government. If you actually watch the Star Wars movies in proper order, you realize that when the dark side, the Empire took over, like war pretty much stopped. The only war that continued was the war against the rebels, and then the rebels just killed millions by flying their little planes into buildings. And then, sorry, not into buildings. They're flying them into the buildings, then dropping the bomb, and then flying them out of their giant space building.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
But like, yeah, you cheer for a terrorist organization that's completely oppressing, that's completely taken on the massive government, the massive democratic government that said we need an authoritarian regime to stop war everywhere. And like, I get the Nazi parallel, but still, you get taught to cheer for them at an early age, and you love Star Wars. You love all the anti-heroes that have been coming out lately, the ones that take on everyone else regardless of the law. And all the movies that come out of Hollywood is about shitty, evil businessmen and politicians, and that one guy with a gun who decides to stop it all. This is slowly being embedded into our society and slowly being fed to each and every one of us every day. Sorry, my main thing is psychology. I love psychology and socialization. And
the thing is, though, that Star Wars wasn't really built on the Second World War concept.
No, it wasn't.
It was more built on Empire.
Star Wars was a space cowboy movie.
Well, clearly it was a space terrorism movie.
Seven at the moment. But the concept of the empire was based on the Roman Empire.
Oh, yes. No argument from me there. Yep. I stand, yes. Oh, God, I hate sometimes Twitter. Not Twitter, no. Fucking annoying.
Live?
Much better. I'm correcting a mistake, Modwain. Sorry about that.
You're correcting a mistake. I have no idea what mistake.
You'll see.
I'll see.
Anyway, yes.
Anyway, guys, I'll actually leave you here. It was really nice being on here.
It was nice to meet you.
Yeah,
Thank
me
you.
too. Me too.
Thank you, Vre.
Vre. Okay. Vre is actually a Slavic thing. The Greek thing is re, without a v sound.
Fuck, I heard every time all my Greek mates in Northcote High School say to me, "Hey, Vre, what are you doing, Vre?"
Yes, it comes from the Serbian bre. The re, the Greek comes from the ancient Greek more.
I just call you Malaka.
Okay, yeah, so let's stick with that. See you, man.
See you, my friend. Anyway, let's continue. Right, we talked about Turkey. We haven't talked about the Austrian elections yet. not much to talk about, really. The whole propaganda media just called the right wing party guy left wing, an extreme right wing, and scared everyone away or something. No, wait, I think they tied, didn't they? Shit, I'm so fucking drunk.
Uh,
I think
Well,
they tied. They were technically
which election
do you guys
you
think?
know on
the
about?
Austrian presidential election. I think they were tied. Technically tied. They, I don't know who fucking won. Honestly, Jesus, does anyone can?
That should be impossible.
I'm not quite sure if that's already out, to be honest.
Austrian.
But it should be. But it's 2 days ago that they had the second election. It was the second election, by the way. It's not the first one because there already was an election in April in 2016.
Yes, but that was considered null and void because there was a whole lot of
Yeah.
yeah. Shit. Why can't they fucking? In Portugal, we have an independent organization. It's called the Institute of Statistics. Right. It is totally independent. No government, no outside interference can even breathe a sigh on it. It is armored in there. It provides statistics for every fucking thing we do. Elections, statistics from population, everything. Why can't other countries have that shit? I could get you statistics from Portugal of every election results and everything from since I was here in 1993. And these idiots don't show that shit.
Well, I can tell you who won.
Yeah, I know the Green Party won, but by how much did he win? Did he win outright, or because it was a technical tie when I last heard on the news? 1 day ago, let's see, Indian referendum. No, that's Italy. Jesus. I put in to search Google Austrian presidential elections, and fucking Italy comes up.
La bella Italia.
Oh god, this is amazing.
They kind of won the referendum, but I'm not quite sure how fast or if at all Italy will step out of the Eurozone. Or
I was talking about it earlier. They soon have to have actual general elections because this is the fourth prime minister that's been appointed.
yeah,
The biggest party has, I think, 36% of the total vote.
it's probably going to be what's his name, the comedian's party, M5S.
Recently, there's been a big upsurge in populist parties because the fucking refugees are making shit over there, and the Italians, firstly they don't recognize. This is interesting. This ties back to the Slovakian measure to ban mosques and Islam, but I don't agree. Technically, don't agree. Right, but Italy does not recognize Islam as an election, as a religion.
No, it doesn't. No.
So they
Well,
cannot. There cannot be any mosques built in Italy.
Nope. 100% behind that, to be honest.
Right. Now, why? I understand why, because states should be separated from religion, and that Portugal has a separation of, semi-separation of religion and state and religion. We do have a concordata with Rome, which is basically for like holidays and for the Catholic properties not paying taxes and shit. But then it's expanded to all other religions, so it's basically that. But Italy just doesn't recognize Islam as a religion. No mosques can be built there, so they've been having prayers in front of the fucking Colosseum in Rome. I would first of all clean them out, and that'll
sometimes, if I'm not mistaken.
Put them all in what's his name's house? That actor. famous actor from Ocean's 12 or 11 and 12.
Brad Pitt?
No,
George Clooney.
Clooney, him. Yeah, put them all in his house instead of in Rome. He's been one that put them all in his house. Fuck it, in the Como Valley and that. But, yeah.
You
And,
got a lot.
that's-
I mean, it's usually rich left-wing politicians or actors that are totally in favor of getting in the refugees, but they are not going to take them into their house, though.
Well, let's be perfectly honest. This is why I'm kind of going light on most of these, and I'm going to air quote actors, because they are, as Yuri Bezmenov said, they're social whores. They will do whatever the hell they get paid to do, and that feeling, a lot of the support that they produce out there is nothing but what they feel is either popular, and therefore they can get a lot more positive. I guess positive attention, or they just get paid outright to support political candidates or movements because they will.
But
these people
double though. Because not too long ago, there was a reporter from the BBC who was in France talking to the refugees in the makeshift village that they used to try and get into England. And she was talking about how terrible it was and all the poor children there and blah, 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 blah. So the camp has been closed and the children were supposed to be taken into Britain. Most of the children were older than 30. But among the things she said when those people were brought to the camps and she was crying and whatnot, she said she would love to have some of those children come to her house. Now guess how many she invited? It probably won't take you too long to guess, though.
0.
And then people actually called her out on it and said, okay, so why are you not inviting anyone? And of course, there is this huge radio silence when it comes to that.
Yeah, exactly. That's censorship. Like I've been saying, that's censorship. We have to have freedom of information. And if we don't get information, doesn't matter. Every information, be it bad, good, quote unquote false, quote unquote real, it's information. We should not that should not be censored. Sorry about that.
Well, it's more than that. It's just being censored. I mean, there are people telling us that we should be open and inviting people and grateful that they would like to come to our place and whatnot. But at the same time, they demand that we do something for them and they don't want to do something for them themselves. So there's a bit of a double standard in that.
That brings me up to a poll that's been doing the rounds now. I wish I could do videos like you guys, because Jesus, I love you guys watching how you guys make a video. That there was a recent poll in Britain where the Muslims, who are fucking so isolated in their ghettos, they think that 75% of the UK is Islamic.
Yeah.
So, and and another one, I saw a tweet or a article where an Islamic group, I think it's in England, my memory is not, that said it's not the Muslims that should integrate, it's the British that should integrate.
Well, that's Sharia, isn't it?
Exactly.
Everyone has to apply themselves to fall in line with Sharia. But it's the same thing. I mean, in Germany, I forgot which Bundesstaat, but in one of the states, there were Sharia cops, just like in London and whatnot. And a judge spoke out and said, no, well, this is totally acceptable. Even the police said, no, if you see this happening, you call us and we will come because that's not allowed. But the judge said, no, it's okay.
Well, yes, exactly. Yes, that I saw that. Yeah,
this did happen earlier this week. But it's getting a little bit stranger. what's it called, a fatwa or something, where a woman has been declared that she needs to die by Muslim law or some bullshit.
That kind of, yeah.
Yeah, in Canada, we had bus signs that said, if you have one of these on you, or if you're afraid for your life, call this number, and we will get you out of your bad situation. If you're a Muslim woman, and apparently some
will be put on men, to be honest.
Oh, sorry. Whatever it was like if you're a Muslim and you're fear for your life, call this number. We'll get you a lawyer. We'll get you a safe place to go. And it was written in Arabic and English, and I think also in French. And apparently, some Muslim advocacy group decided to sue the shit out of the city until a judge ruled that was against their. That I think they ruled it hate speech. They said this is hate speech and said this is no longer allowed to be in advertising on a bus. And they basically took it down in the entire province.
Yeah, but Canada is also basically lost.
We're not that lost yet.
Getting there. It's getting there.
I'm starting my anti-Trudeau campaign right yesterday. I'm already speaking out against him, and I want the Trump. If I can't have a Trump, I will try to move to the States.
I mean, come on, Trudeau. He stands in a mosque, talks about how Muslims are so very encompassing and everyone is equal. Look at all the guys standing in front. Look at all the women standing on the balcony in the back. Dude, you're actually fighting segregation, and you're making it sound like that's a good thing.
Trudeau is the biggest cuck in the fucking world as far as politics goes. I don't think there's a bigger cuck than him out there. He ran on being a feminist prime minister. He ran on his good looks. Most of his campaign was him stripping in front of a camera. No one knows how he got elected, but I knew he would get elected because he promised to legalize marijuana. And people are fucking stupid, and they will go and vote for somebody who wants to legalize marijuana. Again, going back to fucking Yuri Bezmenov's subversion. He said that you have to give people what they want or make them feel like they're oppressed. And the drugs, for sure, will make people much more compliant and relaxed in their situation. If he wants to bring socialism with a lot of drugs as well, people will vote for him. Everything he promised to do in his campaign, he's really gone behind everyone's back and changed. The only thing he did that actually he hasn't done anything. He was already gone back in a pot situation. He's gone back on a lot of Muslim integration. Even the refugees he wanted to bring in. He said he wanted to bring in 50,000 into Canada. He stopped at 35,000 and went, okay, you know what? Maybe not. So he even stopped there. He's still not 100% lost cause, but then again, we do have a pretty big system, parliamentary system that might not want to get involved with the situation to that degree. I do want to get rid of him as one of the first things I've ever heard him do in his first 2 weeks as prime minister. He decided to gather up a bunch of Canadian business leaders and take them to New York to have a business conference about the future of Canadian business. The one thing that most of the news kind of didn't mention was that they're all women and feminists as well. So he's teetering on that point of being overly feminist and overly retarded, that I don't think the Canadian people are going to give him a second chance. I really do hope we do band together and just not vote him in.
Well, I hope Canada will be able to grab hold of themselves in time, or they will follow Sweden.
I don't know. It depends on the demographics in Canada. I don't know how much. I know that
we've had a pretty conservative guy in power for about 12 years straight now.
No, I don't mean it that way. There are about 3 or 4 cities which have a huge population, and they are the ones that are more quote-unquote liberal, or should I say regressive, compared to the rest of the country.
Toronto, where I live, is horrible.
Toronto is
just
one, yes.
Ridiculous. As Milo Yiannopoulos said, if the regressive SJW Illuminati existed anywhere, it'd be here. And I completely
Toronto, Ottawa, Vancouver.
I wouldn't say Ottawa. I would say Edmonton and Vancouver.
Edmonton and Vancouver, and what's the other one? Maybe not Ottawa, but shit. I've seen the Ottawan members of Parliament. They're fucking what the fuck? They're so.
Well, Ottawa is where our Parliament is. Basically, all the shit's over there. So if you hear anything coming out of Ottawa, that's the capital city of the state.
I know, man. I'm a fucking genius in geography.
All right, there you go. Although Quebec, that's just down the way from Ottawa,
Oh God, no.
they're like banning a bunch of Muslim crap.
No.
They're refusing to serve people if they don't speak French. They're refusing to allow most people to even wear the hijab in public, in banks, if they work in public serving people. They passed a law where you're not allowed to wear any kind of religious paraphernalia on you. They're just fighting this thing completely. We have an entire province, and it's a pretty big province, and they throw the weight around quite a bit. They want nothing to do with the agenda. They're flat out saying these people are destroying and completely like eating away at our culture. We want nothing to do with them, and they're just preventing them from moving in. Whoever, if you're like a refugee and you want to go over there, even to migrate to move to the province, they will place you somewhere in the middle of nowhere to live as a hick for about 5 to 10 years before they can let you move into a bigger city.
Yeah, I know there was been by-elections in Canada, and the regressives have been fucking spending shit tons of money to try to win those seats, because if they don't, they'll become. They are the pendulum. I think is swinging some aspects, even in Canada, even in Sweden, because the elitist shit rat cunt sucking. Jesus, I don't have enough fucking bad names for those bastards. They are the minority, and the people are surprisingly voting them fucking out of office and out of making them irrelevant. What they're doing to the Alberta economy, for example, and Saskatchewan, and even to some aspects, British Columbia, the people there, they don't fucking care about identity politics. They want a fucking job. They want to work.
That just got recently a lot worse since the oil fields closed down, since America's selling their oil cheaper, and therefore we're not producing any. We had most of my province just kind of packed up and left to go out west to make all their money out there, and then the oil money stopped, and then we had that giant fire that what they called. Oh, I'm gonna air quote wildfire. A lot of this conspiracy theories are already saying that it's some guy who's just disenfranchised that set the forest on fire and burnt down all the new homes so people can collect the insurance money and move home, because nobody was going to be able to afford those new homes. But yeah, we had that fire, and now everyone's back here. So now that everyone's back here, there's way too many people out of work and way too many people just competing way too heavily for jobs. So that's actually kind of why I'm on YouTube. I can't find one. So yeah, the trades are just packed right now with people competing with each other. So even if I want to make a little bit of money, I'll have to really, really lowball everything. And on top of that, of course, we're throwing in refugees left, right, and center to also compete with us. So that's
of course,
fun, of course.
That's one of the points that I've been listening today of how the it basically came out of a sort of an interview of a British by-election, English by-election, in fact, of the seat of Richmond, who was won by the Liberal Democrats. And they are semi-cuckies. They are not very... they are anti-Brexit, and they beat the shit out of the Labour Party, the Communist Party of the United Kingdom as it is now, and they also beat the safe seat of the Conservatives. And this interview basically destroyed her. She left because she just fucking couldn't handle it. And her main point: how can migrants coming into the country affect the constituencies that are already there? You say basically that, and other interviews I've seen, that they are basically, if they come in, they are paid for. They pay for themselves and everything. But if a country has some unemployment, American unemployment's going down, for example. Canadian unemployment seems to have been going up because of the fucking politics of Trudeau and that, of cutting their main, cutting main what they make money out of: coal, oil, gas, trees, and
Those are not
then
environmentally friendly things. For fuck's sakes. He just introduced the carbon emissions tax in Canada.
Yes,
Everyone is freaking out.
yes.
The liberals, the hardcore liberals are like, wait, what? Why? This was never part of your agenda. This is going to just ruin so much shit. And this is why I think that there's still hope, because even the hardcore liberals are like, wait, why? Why are we even going to fix global warming with this carbon emissions tax that he just introduced? And he introduced it to ramp up and increase the carbon emissions tax for the next 20 years. He's like, oh yeah, we'll start at 5% and we'll move our way up for the next 20 years. What the hell is he thinking? That's just going to destroy jobs even more.
Australia tried that and they fucking lost it. So yeah.
Well, when he's clearly not of a sound mind, clearly somebody's whispering some things in his ear, and I'm like, I wish I could say, I wish I could say who. I don't think it's even a feminist agenda. I just feel like he wants to be his dad, and like, his dad was a Castro-loving cuck as
Communist.
well. Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
yes, he was, and people don't realize that. People love Trudeau because Trudeau. But I don't think most people see. I actually don't think most people know enough about politics to have the opinions that they hold about politics. I've tried talking to people. They're like, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Well, I really like politics and psychology." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, tell me something," because I like politics too. And I just start talking about some of the shit I know. And they're like, "Wait, what? I'm like, "Okay, what do you know about the last 2 years?" And then the conversation just kind of ends, and I go back to getting drunk.
I don't understand how these little ideologues who fucking never worked in their fucking lives think that bringing in a mass of people who will be on benefits because they fucking won't get a job, bleeding the people that do work, and then on top of that, cutting industries and whole sections of the economy where you can't get money to pay those fucking leeches. How do they think their country will survive?
Well, where does he think we're gonna get fucking energy from either?
Exactly. Australia, an Australian state. I'll give you an example of the fucking cucksville some politicians can be. The Australian state of South Australia decided to cut all coal-based fuels, power generations. They had wind power and solar. Turns out that they didn't have a backup system. So what happened next? They had outages on top of outages for a hell of a long time. I don't know if I've stopped reading because it's just too fucking creepy. Too fucking cringy to listen to the shit that they're doing to that state. Yeah, South Australia is small. It's one of the. It's the whole state has less people than the city of Melbourne, for example. So, and they imagine what would happen. It did happen. They just said, "No, fuck coal and fossil fuels. We'll just go for the energy shit." Yeah. Not even the fucking dams. They have dams, well, at least in the Murray River, and in summer they could import quote unquote import energy from other states and that, from the dams and etc. No, we're going for it green, and they had the outages. Portugal, on the other hand, we had 4 days last year where we did not have. We generated all our energy from clean sources, but we have our backups. We have our not coal anymore, but natural gas, which is much, much cleaner. We're not that fucking stupid. We know that if we turn off our fossil fuels type energy generation, we're going to be fucked up. Because we're not building that many dams now. We just don't have enough rivers. They're all fucking completely saturated. And it's wind power, solar power, or natural gas, which we've converted all our coal to natural gas, which is very clean. We get our natural gas from Morocco, and it's working out perfectly. So yeah.
Okay. So at least there was a process there, not like, hey guys, we're gonna reduce our energy production means, and then just kind of stop producing things. Like we don't have a plan. Well, what are we gonna do? We're gonna be like, my city's surrounded by I think 6 nuclear reactors, 6 of them. And you know what happens at least once a winter? My power goes out. I'm supposed to be living in a world-class city, and my power goes out in the winter. My power goes out in the summer all the time, and I like. How is it that I live in a major world-class city and the nuclear power plants, 5 of them around me, just don't produce enough electricity for me to sustain my air conditioning? But no, we gotta reduce, reuse, and recycle our way to what? To living like animals with no air conditioning.
I'm all for recycling. That's shit. I grew up in Australia where I recycled cans for cash, the Coke cans and that.
I'm not talking about actual recycling. I'm just joking at their
Yeah.
reduction methods of.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Reduce everything. Reduce the amount you drive. Thanks. How am I supposed to get to work with all my equipment? Oh,
Yeah.
reduce the amount of consumption. Oh, okay. So you don't want me to eat as much as I eat. No, but being fat is okay too. So
I'm actually reducing my carbon footprint because of economic reasons. Portugal has the 5th highest gas, that's petrol, gasoline, and that prices in the world, and we get paid like a third world nation. The minimum wage is less than 500 euros. The average wage is about 870 euros
monthly?
Yes.
Okay.
So
and couldn't even afford my house with that money.
And shit. Well, I don't have any problems with that because I can go to Spain, which is nearly much cheaper. The petrol there. I live so close to it. I go there, but you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So I'm riding my motorbike for pure pleasure and for economic reasons as well, because 20 euros. 22 euros of unleaded 98, which is fucking 1.1, more than 1.5 euros per litre, compared to Spain, which is 1.2 euros per litre, the same gasoline, 98 premium unleaded. With my motorbike, I'm fucking comfortable. Fuck, I fill it 14 litres in it, and I can ride it for a week. For a month. No, not a week, a month. Because it's only 125cc, so it's a real motorbike. So don't tell me it isn't. But yeah, that's me.
Luckily, you don't need a giant work van, a giant cargo van to hold all your equipment to drive around from house to house all day doing repairs on people's houses.
Man. Yes. So, I know how it is. I don't know. I know you guys have cheap fuels, but here in Portugal. Yeah, fucking hell, half of what we pay.
No, we're at what are we at right now? Actually, I don't remember what we're at. $1.20 a liter.
$1.20.
Canadian dollars. What's that? That's about 65 euros per euro cents per liter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're almost at 3 times.
Yeah. Portugal pays for the same unleaded 95, which not even has any. It's fucking. No additives at all. They even cut that out to say we're going to cut out the additives, reduce the price of petrol. Fuck no, just increase the margin.
Actually, we're at $1.24. Sorry.
Yeah, $1.24, right?
Oh no, $1.02, $1.02.
Yeah, Canadian dollar.
Yeah.
Canadian dollars. Yeah.
I guess that is pretty cheap comparatively.
It's very cheap.
But then again, the States is next door.
But shit, I lost my. Oh yeah, back to. But I know that in Canada and the United States they can. It's real, but here I don't know how the hell our couriers and our trucking industry that delivers shit, how they can manage to have a slight margin of profit. so fucking hot. It's so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time he puts up, well, they keep arguing with people. They're like, "Oh, carbon emissions tax. It's going to help the environment." And I always ask, how? How is paying more taxes to the government going to help the environment? Is it just how?
Well,
and no one has an answer.
It could be, but this is not what they do. Carbon emission tax could help the environment if the money raised by that is being
Was funneled into research.
And we can capture CO2. We can. We don't do it yet, but we can. If we would start doing that, it won't really change anything anyway, because then, okay, you got carbon, and where are you going to put it? Under the ground. So it's still there. It's just away a bit.
Do you guys remember the fake plastic trees idea?
Oh, yeah. That was
the carbon filters along highways?
Yep. Yeah.
Sort of heard about that, yeah.
Yeah, they want to create these tree-looking structures that actually suck up the air around highways and roads, and then filter out the carbon out of them, and then store the carbon underground in a way, and then someone else was developing a way to turn that carbon into a fuel source. Okay. Which everyone was like, holy shit.
They into plastics.
Oh, yeah, or into plastics. There was also that idea too. And I guess it was more like composite materials. But the whole point was that they're like, this would work, and it would create an industry, this new industry to take basic carbon and manufacture things with it. And at some point, someone did the math and went, too expensive. And just the idea just disappeared into nowhere. It was actually kind of sad. I was excited. But the major point here was that it's not going to research. It's going right back to the government, the same government that wasn't doing anything about the research to begin with. So paying more taxes is going to do nothing. It's just going to make food, transportation, and living more expensive.
Yeah.
And that doesn't help anybody. Because especially since it's the liberals pushing the agenda. I love the fact that I actually had a conversation in my comments of them being like, well, what about transportation? And they're like, well, too bad for our transportation. We're too used to our luxurious commodities. We're just so used to it. We have to get rid of all these luxuries that we have, and we have to live in a better world. I'm like, what about the bus? Do you think the bus runs on magic? Do you think the poor people that have to take the bus for 2 hours a day to get to their job are going to like paying $4 to get on the bus? And that's it. The conversation was pretty much over at that point. Everyone likes to say, spend less, do more, stop living extravagant lifestyles. But if you really want to do that, why don't you just move to like Africa? That's fine there. You don't need cars.
But that's the worst part of it, though. I mean, we can create fuels in a slightly better way than that we're doing now. I mean, carbon is, well, the sea eats carbon, but plants eat carbon too.
Yes.
So why aren't we putting more work, for example, into biofuels made with rapeseed? We know it works. It's not 100% carbon emission free, but it doesn't really create a lot more carbon.
I think I read like 100 articles a year about this new fuel source, the algae fuel source, the biofuels things, the electric cars.
We know how to make a fuel out of rapeseed oil.
Yes, or algae. It was like 2 months ago. No, 2 months ago, someone created this brand new fucking bacteria that actually creates the stuff. Or, I don't know, maybe it was a face.
The problem is that algae, you have to have a lot of water to have a decent amount of algae. Rape grows everywhere. You can fucking grow it in the savannah in Africa, and it will fucking grow.
That's not. That's one of the solutions, but that's not.
That's not the narrative.
I'm. I'll try and explain this so everyone can really understand, not get quote unquote triggered. I am totally an environmentalist. I love nature. I want to preserve all of nature, or as much as I can. But because of some shit that's always going on in that, I feel that we need a disaster, Like, I don't want to stop global warming or climate change. No, I want to accelerate it. Do you know why? Because politicians hold power, and politicians basically have houses near coasts and all that shit. And God, this is the part that really fucks me up straight, because there are countries, Holland, Holland, no, the Netherlands are below sea level. And they will be the victims.
Oh no!
Because of the fucking.
No.
They
Trust
will.
me. Trust me. England, Great Britain will be gone beyond the waves before the Netherlands will.
It won't. Trust me, it won't. London may, Dorset may, Essex some of it.
We've been sitting on water for as long as this country exists.
I know, but yes,
dikes and waterways and whatnot. We still got a few good centuries to go before it all fucks up.
Yeah, I hope that because if all it needs to happen is the Iceland glaciers melting.
People keep saying that, but that's not true. It will raise the water level. I will agree on that. But do you really think that, considering the amount of water protection we have built around our country, that we can't build a little bit more?
Yes, I hope exactly. But the problem is not that. Climate change doesn't hit the earth or melt and raise the sea level. No, climate change brings extreme weather conditions. A freak cyclone could whip into the English Channel and fucking wipe out half of England, France, Netherlands, Germany, and all that shit. See what I mean? Denmark and that. The problem is that after the Greenland glaciers melt, they will stop the Gulf current. It will definitely start a glacial period, a cooling.
Yeah.
We'll start that. And I'm fine with that. I would love to see a wall of ice, a mile high, or 1.6 kilometers high, south of Paris. And Portugal, the Iberian Peninsula, at the height of the glaciation, the last one, had heavy snowfalls in winter, but it was generally what it is now. Just saying, you guys can always move here to Portugal. We will always welcome people.
Well, in all fairness, if whether there's an ice age incoming or not, if I look at the winters we're having now compared to the winters we were having 20 years ago, the Netherlands have warmed up.
Yep. I'd just like to say that I live in Toronto. When I first came here, it was like -30 with about 15 feet of snow a month. I don't know, a lot. Just a lot of snow all the time. Now it's already December, and I have yet to see any snow on the ground, but Hawaii got its first snowfall in recorded history. So it is just climate change. The climate will change. It will differ, and maybe some people will get more snow or less snow than other people.
Yeah, it is, but this time it's man-made. The science is there.
Ooh.
Because do you know why? Do you know why? It's simple. We have cut too many forests down.
Yeah,
we are actually going to have a live stream about that this Friday with a few people. We're going to debate whether it's actually man-made or not.
Yeah,
it is.
It is man-made. That unfortunately, that is undisputed.
It's a consensus with 97% of actual climate scientists, geologists, geographers, the people who study climate. They all know it.
Yeah,
the other
I've seen that John Oliver episode, and I actually covered it. What they say is they agree that it's happening, but they mostly agree that it's man-made, but they can never agree on what is causing it. Or how it's
simply.
What is that?
Someone's.
But do you really think that considering?
Someone's replaying that.
Yeah, that was me. Sorry.
It's man-made because we are pumping greenhouse gases since the 70s. That's when it really started to accelerate, 60s, 70s. Up until that, it was, but that's when it accelerated. Up also that the 60s, 70s, we saw the Amazon shrink to about half of what it is, even less what it is now, what it used to be now.
Yeah,
it's
not
Congo.
just the Amazon.
So
yeah,
should
the
we
Congo,
put in sanctions to prevent the Congo from cutting down the rainforest? Because that's happening.
Just don't buy the fucking wood. That's it. It'll stop.
Well, we need wood. Like Canada sells a fuck ton of wood. We also replant all of our trees.
Yeah, but Canada replants their trees. You see the difference?
Yeah, that's the thing. But the problem isn't Canada or I mean, look at Europe. How many forests have we still got in Europe compared to the beginning of the previous century? We in Europe have done way worse than what they're doing in South America now, to be honest.
Oh yeah, we started just after just Christianity fucking started cutting down trees like they were never ending.
Okay, but see, this is where the liberals will jump on you and want to murder you. We're destroying a thriving economy of countries that aren't that well off. Because a lot of those countries that are cutting down the Amazon, they don't have many resources to sell to the world. So once we stop buying their wood, their economies just collapse.
The problem isn't buying their wood. The problem is replanting. We should replant in Europe, we should replant in America, and we should replant in South America. That is what's not being done. We see this in for example, Indonesia as well. Complete swaths of rainforests are being destroyed so they can make farmland to make nothing really. This needs to stop. We need our trees.
And one problem is the biofuels now. Soya and coke and some other oil plant that they are cutting down forests to plant.
Yep, and it was actually happening a lot with the organic food revolution. A bunch of people would go down and cut down huge amounts of forest just so they can start planting soy and a bunch of those other I don't know, superfoods.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. We are growing the latest quote unquote superfood, blueberries.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Shit, we see acres of that shit being planted here, but we haven't cut down any trees because there are no fucking trees to cut down. We are actually using abandoned farms to do that shit. So in our case, it's okay. It's just that the fucking oil shit for biofuels, which should be rape. I fucking totally agree. Fucking plant the Sahara Desert with rapeseed. Get those fucking kebabs to produce something. Maybe they won't come here.
Heroin's pretty expensive, and they're making quite a bit of money off that.
Yeah. Jesus, Rudolph Diesel's original engine was run on peanut oil.
Yeah.
God,
so
anything works.
Don't talk about stuff like that. They'll shut down the stream. Don't remind people we have alternatives.
No, but that's the thing with
I've said I'm too small for them to shut me down. I've said this before, so no worries, Silerious. No worries. Yeah.
Well, I say things like that, but my streams get demonetized, and
I don't have monetization, so they fucking can't do anything to me, man.
All right,
but that's the thing, though. I mean, if we look at our fuel consumption, we can have natural gas, which is okay. And then we can have diesel, which you can make out of anything. And then we have, how do you call it, normal fuel, benzene and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is crap. Yet most of the money goes into benzene.
Yeah. Hydrogen, for fuck's sake. Why isn't people doing hydrogen?
Well, I can understand why they haven't gone to hydrogen. Because in countries like the Netherlands or even in Canada, hydrogen isn't that good of a solution. And you know why?
The problem with hydrogen is you can't compress it enough.
No, that's not the main problem. The main problem is what gets out of your exhausts. And with hydrogen,
water.
Indeed. But if you have a country where the possibility of freezing weather is there, you don't want cars driving around throwing water on the ground. Because
that's what
basically what you're
we're
doing
kind of
is
sticking to
creating an
electric.
ice track.
Yes, I know because of the cold, but there are solutions for that. God, what was I going to say? Europe is actually working on that problem. And for all the fucking shit I had about the European Union, this is actually, it has also done some good shit to Portugal. So I can't say, but in the general terms of things, what they are doing with the Euro, the norm Euro NCAP 4, the Euro 4 regulations of emissions and that shit, they are forcing more electric cars, which it will not impact a lot on Europe because they are introducing them slowly enough, but it's fucking up the oil producers.
Yeah.
And the oil producers aren't very happy about that.
I'm not really
because
sure.
there's such a fucking glut. No, there's such a glut of oil now.
Yeah.
The OPEC countries cut production. The oil price went up a bit, then it fucking dropped again.
Yep.
Because the United States cannot absorb all the. They have enough. They're producing more than they've ever produced.
Yeah.
Canada is sitting on fucking reserves for thousands of years if they want to. And with the fucking idiots stopping the pipelines being built, it's even better for future Canada. While the bloody OPEC countries, which fucking need oil revenue, and Angola, which is not in OPEC, but they fucking need it, and a few other countries, they are busting their ball. Russia's fine. Russia, it's easy to extract. Like in fucking the Middle East, they just fucking
I don't know what Russia's doing, but they are just not touching the natural resources. They have a fuck ton
They're
of
not.
diamonds,
They're not.
a fuck ton of
Exactly. They're
everything.
not. Yeah,
And
they're
just
not. They're not stupid. They know that let all the other cunts waste all that shit. We got other methods to get, other ways to get it. Then when they run out of it, will be the kings.
Yeah.
They're thinking long term. That's where the not SJWs. There's a new term which this kid, I think he's a kid. I've got to look him up. He's a really awesome dude. He followed me. I followed him back because just the fucking genius of what he said. It's the social domination warriors. I got to find his name because I have to. This will be my last. Quoting him because it was just pure brilliance. I love that. God, what's his name? So far down, and that's what they are. They don't see long term. They only see short term fucking gains, and they only see themselves. But Russia sees far and ahead. The Arab countries need all the fucking money they can get, or else they'll have a revolution on their fucking hands. Here we go. It's Kid in the Crowd. He's the one that I got Social Dominance Warriors from. And that'll be my last mention of it if he's watching or listening. Mate, you have been forever mentioned.
Memorialized.
Memorialized, exactly. Even though I'm really tiny. I think we sort of covered everything, more or less. We covered that 140 Portuguese Syrian migrants are not here. Covered Germany. They covered enough of the elections. Fuck them. Bering's channel's been taken down again.
Yeah, I wonder.
Are we going to cover any more of the Twitter censorship?
Because he fucking had this bloody his bear still on his avatar thing. He should have taken it down. Fuck's sake.
Well, I thought he was taking that down.
He did take it down. I saw, at least on his Twitter, he'd take it down. He should have done that on his channel. I saw one, I don't know, Jesus. He can, bloody hell, he can just start another channel instead of being Patrick.
How many channels does he have?
Has two.
Does he have also Bering Streams, and then Bering, and then Patrick something?
I don't know about Bering Streams. I think it was the same channel.
Oh.
Because I follow him, and I can't see that he has Bering Streams. He has Bering, She's fucking gone. Patrick, let's see if Patrick's up.
Yeah, I think he only has those two. But I thought he would get Bearing back if he...
It's called Bearing live streams.
oh,
But
yeah,
he
he
only has 21,000 subscribers.
Oh, then cool.
Yeah,
But I don't think he'll be using it because if you fucking terminate that shit regarding multiple third-party claims, terminate it. Jesus.
Yeah, Bearing him. No, there he is. Yeah, I thought he got his channel back. Someone was saying he got his channel back earlier this week.
He did got his channel back. He just had one video there. He cleaned out. He put every other video private.
No, but it's gone now. It's empty again.
Exactly.
And it says BuzzFeed and related channels, The Tonight Show, Sugar, Sage Hymns, Sportsnet Canada. Huh. This is totally the Ellen Show. That's apparently related to him for some reason. And he would hate this.
Oh man, it's I wish I had the power to turn off, just fucking turn off YouTube, for example. Oh yeah, you want to see how it is to be terminated your channel? We'll turn off your whole country, your whole company. Bow, off air. No way.
Huh.
Jesus.
Have you guys had issues with Twitter, for example?
No, I'm too.
Yeah,
small.
they don't care about me. I'm too small.
Well, I know I've been hit by Fuchsia, and I'm smaller than both of you guys. My growth rate has completely been devastated recently.
Yeah, you're still bigger than me. I'm pretty sure of that.
I've been growing recently. I don't know how, but fuck.
I'm only at 170.
Yeah, that's twice as big as I am on Twitter, mate.
I'm not talking about Twitter.
I'm not gonna say my size because I fucking feel bad about it. I got 961 followers. I had 964 some time ago.
Why aren't they following you on YouTube?
And Twitter, no. On YouTube, I have 229 subscribers.
Yeah, I'm at 350 now.
Awesome,
but
man.
on average, I have 100 views per video. So I have a lot of people who are subscribed to me that don't actually check my stuff out, I guess.
Well, Sandra was going on about that today. Yeah, apparently the change of YouTube algorithm. I threw it up in the chat earlier. Apparently, the only thing that matters now to YouTube and their new algorithm, Chris Regan also did a video about this, is that people have to hit that stupid bell to actually get subscriptions. The one right next to your subscribe button, next to your name.
Yeah, got all the. Yeah, I have all the. I do that to every channel I subscribe to.
The whole point is your fans have to do it to you. And the only thing that YouTube, the new YouTube algorithm accounts for is likes and comments in the channels. So they don't care about views anymore, and they don't care about watch time. Apparently, that's gone out the window. So my numbers have dropped significantly. So they want everyone to like now and subscribe. Obviously, like, subscribe, and comment. Apparently, the comment is really important. They want to know that people are getting engaged by your content.
I don't care. That's why they leave me out. I don't give a shit. I'm here to, like what I'm doing now, having an awesome conversation and getting to know new people. That's me. So I don't care about. If I had 10 followers, 10 subscribers, I'd be fucking happy as much as I have them now. I love the people who subscribe to me. I'm fucking so honored. I'm humbled. Actually, even on Twitter, I have all these people that are subscribed that are subscribed to me on Twitter, and I can't hack. I can hack it, of course, but I'm humbled. I really, I don't care if they don't follow me or whatever, because that's the problem with these social networks, that they have been Marxist. They've gone Marxist way. It's just
they become the Gestapo themselves.
Exactly. They
people to rat each other out. Now you can just check people's YouTube channels or their Twitter feeds or their Facebook posts, and it doesn't matter. People will just see exactly what you have there. And they want to silence you, they'll just shut your channel off.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I said. It's censorship,
Yeah.
freedom of information.
Yeah, it's even worse. In my latest video, we kind of went over the fact that the journalist teacher in Canada is like, oh, so guys, so what we have to learn to do as journalists is start to learn to censor ourselves. We have to distinguish between what's real news and what's not real news, and we have to make sure the audience knows that we know that we got their backs on this.
The many people from the countries that have never had a dictatorship don't realize what is. I sometimes wish that they did experience it for 2 or 3 generations. That's what happened here in Portugal and in Spain, and then some places in Europe and all elsewhere. Now our politics here is strictly centrist. Our most extreme left or most extreme right are centrists.
Why don't people take the hint? I originally came from Soviet Russia. That's where I was born. I want none of that here. I'm in Canada now, and I want no part of Soviet Russia here. I don't want communism here. I don't want any of this leftist wing bullshit. And the people I have to talk to, I have to keep pushing that. Like, why do you think I'm in Canada and not in Russia back in the Soviet days? It was shit. People were starving in the streets, and people were getting murdered by the millions. By the millions. And they're like, well, it was just not initiated properly. People were just doing it. No, it was done exactly the way it was supposed to.
Yes. You know where that comes from, by the way?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, do you want to know?
Sure, I heard it from my teachers, but let's see if it originates from somewhere better.
It's pretty funny. It starts with Lenin.
Of course.
Lenin starts based on the socialistic concepts of Marx. He starts the work in Russia to make it a socialistic state. And basically, it boils down to this. Marx was quite clear on this, and at the same time, he was an idiot. You take away the production costs and profits, and you basically all spread it out over everyone. So no one is owner of a big company, but everyone is owner of everything. And then suddenly everyone will be happy. But how to get there? Well, Marx didn't know, and Lenin didn't know. So Lenin started his revolution, and he tried to make the state in control of everything, but eventually everything would go back to the people because the people needed to be in control of everything.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And he didn't know how to do this. But he tried, and he tried again, and he failed on every step. Eventually, what was his name? Oh, the other one. The one that followed Lenin. Stalin, thank you. Eventually, Stalin said, you know what? Fuck you, you've been trying it long enough. He killed Lenin and basically said, we're done now. And that's how they got to the utopian state.
No. Don't
Totally
joke
correct.
about the utopian state.
Totally correct, except for the conspiracy theories. Yes, you are correct. But to achieve what Lenin and what Marx and Engels wanted, you need brutality. You need to be a dictatorship, basically. You can't.
Yeah, but the whole idea was that you wouldn't need a dictatorship because people would govern themselves.
But they don't.
But that's okay. Yeah. But that's why when you look at for example Russia under Lenin, which was terrible, it wasn't as bad as under Stalin.
The only way you could govern people governing themselves is if we go back to hunter-gathering lifestyle.
And very
so nuclear apocalypse?
No, it would just be our population will go from 7 million to less than 1 million. A world population I'm talking about.
So
because of the carrying capacity of Earth.
Uh-huh.
So it's scientific, it's archaeological, scientific. The maths is there, and the carrying capacity of hunter-gatherers is not. Oh shit! We've maintained less than 200 million. The 500 million people on Earth until basically Rome, and that's 90% of human Homo sapien history. And from Rome we had a little peak. The Middle Ages we had a peak, but even though with a drop because of the Black Plague and that. But the Industrial Revolution, since 1790s, we just our population just exploded exponentially. That our means of maintaining people fed and everything, you just can't keep up. That's why Marx and Engels wrote that hypothetical utopian communist manifesto. But if you want to go that to the best, to what you guys said, to become the people governing themselves, get rid of agriculture, kill 99.9% of the population on Earth, and become hunter-gatherers again. People will be egalitarian in all aspects.
But
I mean,
no, they won't.
Total egalitarian. Yes, they will.
No, they won't. Because the Earth isn't made equal. Just because I live on one piece of land.
No, I'm not talking about Earth. I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the society. It would be an egalitarian, totally egalitarian society, because you need to be, or else your tribe, your family dies.
That's not the way it was in history. We keep looking at it.
Yes,
no, it wasn't.
Before agriculture, that's how it was.
Yeah, before agriculture, this is okay. I probably should have interrupted that, but like I do not condone to being murdered for the sacrifice of a new utopian communist society.
I was putting up at fucking the most total hypothetical.
I'm not disagreeing with you though. That's probably what you would have to do to have a utopian communist society come back and actually function properly, is by destroying all governments, destroying all technology, destroying all the majority of the people on the planet, destroying intelligence, and then scattering people all over the place to survive and fend for themselves.
Exactly. That's what they don't realize. It needs to be done. You can't have, in the agricultural societies, you have to have a hierarchy of everything, or else the society just collapses. It's natural. It's normal. It's almost like it was, Jesus, I hate saying that word, designed, but. But it's not designed. It just came to be that to get to us, we need a hierarchical society where we have people on top and people on the bottom. It's just how it is. Marxism basically wants to bring us back to hunter-gatherers, and you know what that entails.
That's because Marx already looked upon the people of back then, anyway, the peasant class, as literally filthy animals. And he's like, well, these people are filthy animals, so they must think like filthy animals. So let's give them an ideology to follow, like unintelligent, idiot, filthy animals.
Likely, yes.
Did you not just describe perfectly the progressive left?
Yes, I did. So the filthy animals are following it. The rest of us are trying to think for ourselves.
Yeah.
At least I hope we are.
I saw a movie not too long ago about how in America the politicians and the left people keep talking about how voting in America is against black people, because black people need to get, just like white people, need to get identification papers to be able to vote.
And that shit's racist.
And, well, apparently, according to the left people, this is racist because black people don't know how to do that. Well, what the fuck is that? How do you think black people don't know how to get a simple identification card? They need them for bullshit of other things as well.
Yes, like getting welfare.
For example. which then they have. So they basically went, there was this report, I can't remember who it was. I saw a movie of him, and he basically went to the black parts of America, and he asked people, "Well, can you get identification papers? Is it easy for you to go online? Stuff like that." Because the left keeps telling us, the world, that black people in America can't do this. Black people in America can do this. They are doing this. They're no different than, well, non-black people in America. It's really, really, really stupid.
It is. Can we wrap this up, guys?
Sure.
Yeah, I think we covered 9. It was a fucking awesome conversation.
Thank
I
you.
got
It was
my.
fun.
I love my 15, 14, 13, 12. What people watching? Just love those guys. The people that do. You guys are awesome in the chat. Oh, by the way, before you do that, oh God, one sec. Lockie, put your. No need. I got your details, so I can put you in the guests, because Modwain's a regular. Who else was on here before? Shit.
I forgot his name. Wait, maybe I can see it.
Let's see. Eleftherios. My Malacca Greek friend. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, I'm probably the few people that can say his name. EleftheriosVenizelos.
Oh, I would say EleftheriosVenizelos, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, you too, exactly. But some in Australia, oh, right, Eleftherios. That's a strange name.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, I will put him as well. He doesn't have a channel though, but never mind. And thank you guys. Thank you everyone from the chat.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Oh man, no worries. You have another person on your chat.
It's me and Sigyn.
Sigyn.
So you'll see. She has the inverted logo of mine. Because Loki and Sigyn in Norse mythology, Sigyn was Loki's love.
Next chat, both of you.
Sigyn or Sigurd?
Sorry?
Oh,
Sigyn or Sigurd?
No, I think it's Sigyn.
Sigurd is a Tolkien book that I have to get. That's the only one I haven't got.
Sigurd is also Norse mythology.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Tolkien did write a lot about the Norse mythology. There's a book, the last book that I need to buy from Tolkien, J.R.R. Tolkien, and it's, I can't remember, it's Sigurd or something. I'll look at. I have it bookmarked somewhere. I just have to buy that, and yeah. So next time, get her on as well. Get your friend.
It might have to be a little bit later on in the day. It's 7 p.m. right now, which is normally just about the time she comes home.
Ooh.
But she's the smarter half who actually has proper education and works in research.
Awesome, man! Awesome.
She's actually dealing with the migrants. She's in a government job that's trying to deal with them and provide proper support. It's actually quite interesting.
Cyanide is good support. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm joking. I'm
that's not
joking.
that far off from what the Canadian government wants to do.
I really am joking. Jesus, I'm the most pacifist guy you could ever meet, but I'm also the first one that if anyone harms any of my friends, family, etc., I'll be the first one to rip throats. Sorry. That's my characteristics. Anyway. Okay, guys.
I have to ask Loki one question though.
Yes.
Because Nordic mythology is kind of my thing. And Sigyn is your partner, right?
Yes.
And you're Loki.
Yes.
So who is your, well, what's the face? I'm crap with names though.
I have no idea. I'll just remain silent.
Loki had an affair with another giant. I forgot her name now.
Oh.
So
okay, but
who is your affair?
Currently, my love affair is going on with someone named Trigger Warning.
I'm sorry, that was just nasty of me.
That's okay. I can take a joke.
So are you going to? I mean, if you're going to have kids, are you going to follow the names along that line as well, or?
If they start YouTube channels, absolutely.
But not in real life.
No, probably not. Well, I think she already has the names planned out.
Okay.
Not unsurprisingly, some of them are Lord of the Rings characters.
Well, Lord of the Rings was also meant as a way to write a mythology for a people.
Yes, it was.
Well, that's no, but Anyway, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I always enjoy it when I see people using Norse mythology names.
Oh, thank you.
God, never mind. I'll just say to the chat. I was typing and I clicked wrongly. I have read all of Tolkien except the book I need to get at least 70 times, and I usually read it twice a year. All of Tolkien that I have. So I'm a fucking geek.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, I know it basically by heart. But I forget things, but then I remember them and I forget them again. So, yeah. Okay, guys, we're going to finish off here. Last, as I usually say, Lockie, you want to promote your channel?
Sure. I do commentary and I cover videos, and occasionally I'd like to get into something more fun. We do live streams on Fridays. We are calling it dumpster fire. Where we read a bunch of triggering articles and just get drunk and just act stupid. If anyone wants to watch it, just follow the links below.
Yeah, I will put the links on the description today, if not tomorrow. But it will have them. I know he follows me. I follow him. He's a good channel. Good channel. Modwain again.
Well, tomorrow we're going to have a nice little stream on Tom Sequitur's thingy. We're going to have a small talk about the next, well, Ghostbusters revisited version, but it's not really going to be about Ghostbusters. It's going to be about Barbie.
Oh God, I've seen so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
things about Barbie.
Going to remake Barbie. I'm sorry, it's just beyond me. And Barbie is going to be, what's her name? Schumer.
Oh God,
Amy Schumer.
God, I heard about this.
I mean, this is a woman that can only make me laugh if she falls head down first off the stairs, I guess. But that's not really nice of me. But she's not funny. She really isn't. And she's going to play Barbie, which in itself is a joke, I guess. But
oh God.
I've seen an image of, instead of thin Barbie, a huge, almost Jabba the Hutt type of Barbie.
That's what it's going to be. For fuck's sake. Oh, I'm sorry. I can't stop laughing.
I couldn't either. No, you're perfect. I couldn't either. It was so fucking funny. That was, God. The memes that have been created since are just fucking brilliant.
Yeah. So yeah, now being a Barbie girl means you're overweight and
fat and vaginal shit and all that. Okay, guys. On this note, Modwain has promoted. I'm always the same. Guys, follow these two awesome people, and we are going offline now. Bye bye.